Have you ever walked into the kitchen, stood there for a moment, and then wondered what in the world you came in for? I sure have. Just the other day, I opened the fridge, stared inside, and totally forgot what I meant to grab. Or sometimes I'll start telling my grandkids a funny story, and the name of the main character just vanishes from my mind, even though I know it's somewhere in there. Moments like that throw me off, and honestly, they can make me a little anxious, thinking that past 70, my brain might not be as sharp as it used to be. But here's the thing, friends, I've discovered something wonderful. We don't have to just accept that as a fact of life. Even as we get older, our minds can stay sharp, picking up every little detail, as long as we give them a bit of care. No high-tech gizmos or complicated stuff needed. Just a few minutes a day with some simple activities can bring our brains right back to life. When I was younger, I remember how hectic things were. Mornings meant whipping up breakfast for the whole family. Days were a rush of work, and evenings were spent checking the kids' homework. My mind was always on, never getting a break. But now, life slowed down a bit, and there's less to keep track of. I've realized that if I don't nudge my brain awake regularly, it starts to drag. Does that ring a bell for you too? Those forgetful slip-ups aren't because we're old. They're because we're not using our minds like we used to. So I started poking around, trying a few things, and found that with just a touch of effort, I can still recall old stories, chat happily with folks without losing my words, and feel fully alive even past 70. It's given me a real boost, knowing I'm still in the game. Today, I want to sit down with you, like we're chatting as buddies, and share 5 simple exercises I've tried that really work. They're not hard or exhausting. They're easy, familiar things you might already do without noticing. I'm convinced that if you carve out a little time each day for them, you'll feel your mind perk up, hold on to memories longer, and best of all, enjoy yourself more. Ready to dive in? Picture us out on the porch, sipping coffee, and I'll walk you through each one step by step. All right, here we are, coffee's still hot, and I want to kick off with something I find genuinely fun, like a little daily game. Have you ever tried solving a crossword or Sudoku? I know you might think, oh, that's for the youngsters, but trust me, it's just right for us, especially after 70. The first time I grabbed a small Sudoku book from the shop down the road, I was a bit nervous, figuring I'd be stumped fast. But I sat down, took a pencil, filled in a few boxes, and guess what? In just 10 minutes, I'd finished one. It felt amazing, like I just won a hand of cards. I'm not suggesting you dive into the tough ones. A simple crossword from an old newspaper or a cheap puzzle book is plenty. Spend 10 or 15 minutes a day, maybe by the window or out in the yard, relaxing as you go, and you'll see what I mean. It's like a workout for your brain, sharpening your focus, boosting your logic, and speeding up your recall. I even carry a little book with me when I visit the grandkids. While I'm waiting, I pull out, and it keeps me entertained and alert. One day, I finished a puzzle, glanced outside, and the sunshine looked brighter, probably because I was feeling so good about myself. Give it a shot. After a few days, you'll love that winning feeling, like you're still as sharp as ever. But if numbers and crosswords aren't your thing yet, no worries. I've got something softer that I think you'll feel right at home from the first try. How about reading out loud? Have you ever picked up a book or a newspaper and just started reading it aloud? I got into this when I was digging through some old books at home, and it's been better than I ever expected. One afternoon, I sank into my armchair with a short poem I've liked since I was a kid. You know, something like, "Roses are red, violets are blue." I read it slowly, hearing my voice fill the space, and it was like my brain snapped awake. You don't need anything long or tricky, just a short piece like a news blurb, a recipe, or even a saying like, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." I do this for about 5 minutes a day, and sometimes I'll read to my dog, even if he just yawns at me. But here's the difference it makes. My mind feels lighter, and what I read sticks around. The cool part is, when you read aloud, you got to think about the next word and tweak your voice, keeping your brain busy without wearing you out. Once, I read a short story, and the next day, I retold it to my grandkids. They were shocked, saying, "Grandma, you remembered it all." I just smiled to myself, knowing those few minutes of reading aloud were the secret. Try it. Pick up something you love, read a few lines, and feel your mind light up. Now, let me tell you about another exercise so simple you can do it anytime, whether you're waiting for kettle or resting after lunch. It's learning one new word a day. Sounds like a school kid's game, doesn't it? But I swear it's tailor-made for us. I started with easy English words I don't use often, like hope for wishing good things or calm for staying peaceful. Here's my trick. Every morning, I pick a word, write it down, and leave it where I'll see it, like on the kitchen counter or by my coffee cup. All day, I try slipping in a few times, like telling myself, I'll stay calm today, no matter what, or joking with my dog, you need some hope, buddy. It takes maybe 2 minutes, but it keeps me thinking and remembering more. I make it fun. If I forget yesterday's word, I punish myself by coming up with a quick sentence, like, hope got me through that rainy afternoon. You don't need fancy words, just something small, repeated a few times. One day I chose laugh, and I spent the day giggling at little things. It felt fantastic. It's not just about keeping your mind nimble. It brightens your day too. Pick a word like happy and give it a go. See how much you recall by nightfall. But if you want something easy that also lifts your spirits, I think you'll enjoy this next one. It's sitting down to remember an old memory. I know you might say, what's so big about that? But when you do it regularly, it's a whole new ball game. I take 5 minutes a day, find a quiet spot, close my eyes, and drift back to a happy day. Just recently, I thought about a camping trip with the family from years ago. I could see us all around the campfire, the light flickering on everyone's faces, and me roasting potatoes for kids. I even smelled the smoke, heard the laughter, and remember my husband singing an old tune I can't quite name now. In just 5 minutes, my mind replayed it like a movie, every detail sharp as a tack. It's not just great for your memory. It reminds you how precious your life's been. You don't need a grand event. A small moment works, like your wedding, your kids' first steps, or an afternoon with friends. I love doing this before bed, smiling at the memory, and it helps me sleep like a baby. Try it. Pick a good moment, let it play in your head, and see how it feels to hold on to that joy. Finally, I've got one that's both relaxing and keeps your brain buzzing, especially if you like hands-on stuff. It's putting together a jigsaw puzzle. Don't scoff thinking it's just for kids. I'm telling you, it's perfect for us. I started with a small one, just 20 pieces from the store nearby. The first time, I spread the pieces on the table and started fitting them together one by one. It took about 15 minutes, but when I finished a little scene of a house by the river, I was hooked. It's like a crossword, but gentler. You match colors and shapes, figuring out what fits where. I did one with my grandson once. He finished way faster, but I didn't mind because I got there too. The best part is the focus. You've got to remember where each piece goes, and your brain stays active without any strain. I do this in the afternoon, maybe with a breeze coming to the window, and it makes time slow down. You don't need a big set. 20 or 30 pieces is enough, and it's nice to look at when you're done. I keep a few finished ones on a shelf, and every time I see them, I'm reminded I'm still on my game. Grab a small puzzle. Try it out, and I'm betting you'll love it too. So there we go. We've covered 5 little exercises that really brighten up my mind every day. Sitting here, thinking about the times I've worked through a Sudoku, read a poem aloud, or pieced together a puzzle, it hits me. My brain isn't fading like I used to worry it would. It's still raring to go, eager for a challenge, as long as I give it a chance. And you're no different. You don't have to tackle all of these at once. Just pick 1 or 2 that catch your fancy and weave them into your day. Some days, I'm busy and only squeeze in 5 minutes recalling a memory, but even that keeps my mind ticking. What I'm saying is, even a tiny effort each day is like a present to yourself, clarity and the thrill of knowing you've still got it. You know, I used to figure that past 70, a shaky memory was just how it goes, but I'm not buying that anymore. Every time I finish a crossword or share an old story with my grandkids without missing a beat, I feel a surge of pride. And I want that for you too. These exercises aren't just about memory. They make life fuller. Like recently, I sat puzzling with my grandson, and when we were done, we laughed and admired our masterpiece. It's not only about staying sharp. It's about cherishing those sweet times with loved ones. Give them a whirl. No hurry, no stress. Just try it with a grin, and you'll feel the shift slow and sure. I hope after hearing me chat about this, you'll pick up a crossword, read a short tale aloud, or just sit and revisit a happy day. Which one's your favorite? Or maybe you've got a clever way to keep your mind sharp you'd like to tell me about. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. If this hit the spot for you, hit that like button to give me a boost, and subscribe so we can hang out again with more handy tips. 70 isn't the finish line. It's when we live bigger than ever, right? Here's to staying bright, happy, and making every day shine.